Hello, Oracles. Tesla X will change the game. Tesla X is this combination between Tesla and X Corporation that will be formerly known as Twitter. So it has not changed yet. It looks like Elon's going to be going through a whole bunch of different things and discussions with meetings before they make any major changes over there. But it does sound like it's going to become X Corporation. So we'll be seeing that in the future. And of course, this is obviously what we know as Twitter today. But what Elon's intentions are for this is to make it something very similar to WeChat that they have over in China. It is the everything app. This is what he has said himself. He wants to make X the everything app. This is where you can go and do everything. Could be someplace that you can go like a Facebook and you're going to go and meet with family. It could be like Twitter. You're going to go on there and have conversations and find some news over there. You're going to be able to share pictures on it. It's going to be a YouTube competitor in the future. You possibly could be trading stocks on there. Who knows in the future? Maybe it's a financial place. You can be changing money, paying for things. You can search for whatever you want. Maybe it's like an Amazon. You can shop for things on there as well. This is what he is envisioning for the future for Twitter and X Corporation. So I don't know how long this is going to take to get to that point. But now we're going to look at what Ross Gerber had to say. And Ross Gerber is an investor in Twitter X Corporation going forward. And he's been over there for some of the meetings to see what is actually going on. So he's given us some information as to what they are looking at. And just his revelations coming out of these meetings are things that we have discussed on here. And now coming from him, seeing it's going to become a reality in the future is quite mind-blowing. So we've got Ross coming out tweeting saying, okay, it's hitting me like a rock. Twitter is the social operating system for Tesla. Hence, Tesla engineers already working with the code. It's the software that can run communication and commerce through Tesla. Okay, wow. So this is something that we've been talking about on here, and the fact that you're going to be able to get into your Tesla and on your screen in there, you're going to just see like X. And you're going to be able to have it pop up and have everything at your disposal right there. You know, they already have, all sorts of different media that are coming through your Tesla at the moment, but now it's going to be run right through X. Everything you need is going to be through X in the future. That is what the vision is. We, of course, are not there yet. We're just getting in the tips of this, but this is what we are looking at in the future. And right now we're starting to see Dogecoin taking off. Elon said he's going to be using Dogecoin as a form of payment over there, and you can tip with it and all sorts of other things. So this is going to be huge for Dogecoin. This is why it is moving up significantly. Obviously, we have not seen it come to fruition yet, but this is something that is most likely going to happen in the future. This is why I have been adding to my Dogecoin position for the last 6 months. So I've just been adding $1 every single day. I've got over 4,000 Dogecoin right now. So not a lot, but when we get to the point where Dogecoin does come and take over, it could very easily get to that dollar point and have, one Dogecoin could equal $1, especially when people are utilizing it as currency over on Twitter. And when we start looking at the capabilities of WeChat and putting that into something like a Tesla, now that's going to separate Tesla from everyone else even more than it already is. Now your Tesla is going to end up being just like your smartphone right now. You go on your smartphone and you can do pretty much everything you need from your smartphone. Now, with X Corporation and Tesla together, you can be able to do everything from your vehicle. May not even need a smartphone. Who knows? This is where rumors coming back up again about Tesla having their own phone down the road could make sense. You leave your car and you still have everything you need with you. So I have a feeling that could potentially happen. But again, I don't know about the smartphone thing. I think they're going to end up having that kind of tied in with Neuralink in the future. Don't know. Either way, I have a feeling that X Corporation is going to be able to come onto all your platforms on all of your phones. And then you can walk out of your car and have everything that you're doing on your vehicle go with you onto your smartphone. So this is going to be a massive game changer in the future. A lot of people are just coming to this revelation right now, Ross Gerber included, and he is one of the big investors into this, and he's on the committees over there, so he knows what's going on. So he is just coming to this revelation and the realization as to what the future could potentially be bringing. And then we just had this chart shared this week now that all the big tech has had their earnings, showing the fact that Tesla right now in Q3 year-over-year net income growth, Apple was up 1%. Everybody else was down. Meta down 52%. Amazon was down 9%. Netflix is down 4%. Google is down 27%. And Tesla was up 103%. Now, we made a video about this yesterday discussing how Tesla is the new FAANG. And I joked around about it on Twitter saying that Stonks is going to be the new FAANG. And Stonks is going to be Starlink / SpaceX. Tesla, Boring Company, Boring Company. And then it's going to be Neuralink, and X Corporation will be the new FAANG stocks. And for me personally, I believe Rob Maurer is actually working on this, but I would love to have an Elon ETF. It's difficult right now because of the fact that most of Elon's companies are privately traded. Tesla is the only publicly traded company that they have. So I would love to be able to invest in all of these other companies, even if it's just on a piecemeal basis, within an ETF. I would love to be able to do that. And you guys can let me know in the comments if that's something that you guys would be interested in, because again, I believe Rob Maurer is working on something like this. I will reach into that even more and find out for you guys, but that is something that could be huge in the future and very much could be the next FAANG stocks. And now, what the crazy part about all this is Tesla right now, their PE ratio is lower than Amazon's significantly. Amazon's PE right now is a 93. Meanwhile, Tesla's is a 70. And we've got Tesla growing at 100% year over year for Q3. Meanwhile, Amazon is down 9%. So you tell me which way this is going and who is more overvalued at the moment. And the last thing I wanted to share with you guys is about my vehicle. And as you guys know, I'm awaiting my Model Y. And I did just get the text yesterday letting me know that I need to schedule my delivery. So very exciting for me. But of course, as you guys know, I am looking to push this off. And this is what I was waiting for. And I was going to share with you guys what happened with me when I decided to push this off and what Tesla tells me. And so this here is the text thread that I got from them saying, hey, it's time to schedule your delivery. I do have a VIN assigned to me at this moment. So I just texted them back and said, I am not ready to take delivery yet. So they said they can remove this VIN one time on my account and put a hold for a maximum of 7 days. If I reject the following VIN for whatever reason, my order will be canceled. And then they asked if I would like to have it removed. I said, yes, please. Understood, removing this VIN now. So then this is the email that they had sent me to follow up saying your order is on hold till 11/5/2022, my reservation number. And then it says, this order cannot be placed on hold again. If you are unable to take delivery of the next available vehicle, your order will be canceled. If you are ready to take delivery, go to your Tesla account and tap remove hold, and then I can go ahead and take the current vehicle that they have held for me. So at this point right now, I'm in a holding pattern. I will be waiting until 11/5, November 5th, to see what they say at that point. They will most likely at that point give me my next vehicle that is ready and give me my next delivery date. So chances are it is still going to be before the end of the year. So I did go just for ha-has and check to see what it would be like, what the lead time is for ordering a new vehicle right now. So ordering the exact same model that I'm looking at right here, I'm looking at getting this delivery December 2022 to April of 2023. So reordering right now, I don't know what I'm going to do. Again, I'm just kind of kicking this can down the road as long as I can, getting some information for you guys. I do not intend on taking this delivery, just for full transparency. I am not going to be taking it unless for some reason I can push it off until next year. So again, looking at mine currently, the price of it that I was paying for was $59,000. A new one is $65,000. So it's basically a wash when it comes down to the EV tax credit for next year. I do not know what they are going to be doing for pricing next year, whether they're going to go up and offset that, whether they're just going to come down on the prices. I think it's going to come down to what's demand going to be looking like at that point as well. A lot of things I don't know, but there's other big factors that I am not taking delivery for. Is I did plan on having a house by this time so I could come home and charge my vehicle. The inconvenience and one of the negatives of an EV at the moment is it does take longer to charge your vehicle than it does to fill up a tank of gas. So costs when it comes monetarily definitely offsets significantly. But when it comes to time, a lot of times when I'm going to fill up my gas, I have a very short commute. So when I go to fill it up, it's because I'm going to get my son. I don't have that 30 minutes to wait and charge my vehicle to go and get my son. I like to leave work. If I need to get gas, it takes 5 minutes. I get that, and then I go get my son. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment right now, is I would really just like to have the convenience of being able to come home and charge it when I'm at home versus just having to go out and charge while I'm out. There's a charger not far from me. It's not a big deal. So realistically, I could probably figure it out. But seeing as the market that we're in right now as well, I would rather take that money that I would be putting into my Tesla, which these monthly payments were going to be about $750, and I was going to be putting $10,000 down and trading in my vehicle. I can take all of that money, keep the cash on the side, put that towards a down payment on a house, or just keep on keeping it in the cash right there and waiting on that. Or I can invest that and I could put it into a CD and get 3% back on a CD, a short-term CD, and do that as well. A lot of different things I can do to invest that money and make some money back in return versus putting it into a Tesla. I want a Tesla. I'm very excited to get this, but I do need to be wise with my money. We're in a bear market. Bear markets, this is where fortunes are born. Fortunes aren't born during bear markets because people went out and bought new vehicles. Fortunes are born because people decided to invest money during those times. This is one of those times. I don't know if the stock market's going to come down even more in the future, but if it does, I want to be able to have more cash on the side as well to be able to invest in this. If I'm now taking $750 every single month and putting it into a vehicle when I could have been investing it, that's going to take away from my future investments. I look back to 2012, and there are many people I spoke to, and I'm sure you guys have as well, talking to somebody who bought a Model S back in 2012, thinking that if they had taken that money and invested it in Tesla stock instead for 10 years, after 10 years, they could have bought 10 Model S's at that price. So this is just one of the things I'm looking at. Delayed gratification is something I have taught myself to do. So I'm really just going to be kind of waiting this out, see what's going to happen, kicking this can down the road, waiting for the time to be right. I don't want to force anything. One of the things I've learned in my life is when you force something to happen, like a fart, you end up pooping yourself. So I don't want to poop myself in this case. I want to invest wisely and be smart with this. So if I feel like I'm forcing something, I'm not going to make it happen because I don't want to crap my pants. And I've also had some questions coming up and getting raised about Tesla next year when it comes to a potential economic downturn further than we're already going and a deeper recession getting into, and what we think is going to happen with Tesla. And, don't you think that maybe the stock price could come down, and people are now calling $69 that the stock price is going to come down to? And look, I don't know what the future is going to hold. Maybe you did buy in at that $1,200 mark. Maybe your cost basis right now is over $300. Maybe it's close to $400. That's tough. It really is, especially if you do not have any extra cash to be able to lower your cost basis. It could be hard on you, and then you look to the future and you think, how could it possibly come back up? Look historically. Historically, we have been through many times similar to this. Not exactly like this, because not every single time has been exactly the same. But we've gone through times where we've had high interest rates. We've gone through times where we've had very high inflation. We've gone through times where we've had recessions. We've gone through a lot of difficult times in the market in the past. We've gotten through it every single time and always made new all-time highs in the market. And the thing that you look at during those times is what stocks have the pricing power, what stocks have the innovation, and what companies have great balance sheets. That's really what it comes down to. Tesla is one of the best. Tesla has no debt right now. They have extremely high free cash flow coming in, and they're innovating into a space that even governments are saying and regulating around, saying that we need to change over to EVs in the future. Tesla is the future when it comes to this. This is one of the companies that's going to be the strongest, if not the strongest company coming out of whatever recession we're going to get next year. Tesla themselves said on the earnings call that going into next year, despite any recession that we could potentially be getting, they're still looking at being able to do a $5 to $10 billion buyback that is on top of all of their CapEx spending and everything else. So they will have everything that we need next year. The price will come back up in the stock. I have no doubt. I cannot guarantee it. I can't predict the future, but just looking at the fundamentals, looking at history, looking at all the different things that we have seen in the past, I believe strongly that Tesla will come out of this very strong. Gary Black still has a price target of $550 for 12 months out from now. So anybody who is bought in at that $350 to $400 range, have faith. We don't know what's going to happen. Gary can't predict the future either, but he is, one of the most realistic bulls that are out there when it comes to Tesla. He likes to see what Wall Street analysts are saying and kind of, estimate what they're looking at and what Wall Street sees, and kind of translates between that and what a lot of us as, social media bulls can see. And he says a $550 price tag on this. So if we are going to $550, that is new all-time highs next year during what could potentially be a significantly hard downturn when it comes to the economy. So yes, I know these are difficult times, and I'm just doing what I can, and I don't mean to just be out here and spread hopium. And I'm not here to spread hopium. I want to be realistic with everybody and say we could be getting into harder economic times. The price could come down on the stock. That could be the reality in the future. But every single time we have gone through these times, we have come out of this. And the companies that do the best are companies very much like Tesla. So when we're going through these times, if you can't add any more, I just hold. You've got to do what's best for you. This is not financial advice. I personally will be adding more, but if I could not add any more, I would just be holding on through this. I do not know what's going to happen. Ask yourself this: what happens if you decide right now that you're going to sell because you're afraid that we are going to be coming down to $140 or lower? What happens if we do not come down to that level, and then you have to take that money and buy back in higher? Just a question I'm asking. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but ask yourself that question. Now, of course, you can ask yourself the question on the other side is, well, what if you don't sell and we do come down to 140 and you miss out there? Okay, then let's look past that. Let's look longer term. Let's look 5 years out from now. where do you think the stock is going to be at that point? Do you think in 5 years, with all of the growth that we are seeing is that Tesla, out of all the FAANG stocks, is growing at 100% year over year for Q3? Do you think they're going to be able to keep that going? If you think that they're going to be able to keep that going, take a look at the PE. If Tesla's PE right now is 70 and they continue to grow where they're growing and the stock price does not go up from here, they're going to end up having a single-digit PE that is ridiculously low for a company growing like Tesla, and eventually it will come out of it. We will hit some point where the stock price has no choice but to go up. That will end up happening regardless of how long this economic downturn stays. So these are just the things that I'm looking at. And so looking at the future is, maybe 2025, we start seeing, X coming up on your screen in your Tesla. At that point there, that is where the game is going to change. Do you think at that point that the stock is going to be at all-time highs? Personally, I think it is. You guys can let me know in the comments below if you think it's going to be at all-time highs. And then you can ask yourself if the cost basis that you have on the stock right now is going to be worth it at that point for the company. And so just a reminder, I will be having Dr. Jack and Pedro on this Sunday. Might even have Vin on as well. So it might be the four of us chatting about health and wealth and what you can do for your health to enjoy your wealth longer, and Tesla and investing, and how to combine the two for the future to really give yourself the best of both health and wealth. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a membership program and a Patreon. Those links are also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.